Hi everybody, welcome to my Facebook Live. Are you one of those people that always has to have a beer as soon as you get home from work? Are you one of those people that needs to have a couple glasses of wine to relax in the evening? Or maybe you're one of those people that you go out with friends for dinner or drinks and you tell yourself, I'm just going to have one or two drinks, but then you end up having more than what you had really wanted to. We all have issues with alcohol because it's so common in our culture, and sometimes we drink a little bit more than what we had really planned on. And if you are having like cravings for a substance, or you always have to have it at a certain time of day, probably there are unresolved trapped emotions from the past, emotional baggage from the past that's contributing to the cravings or the desire to reach for it at a certain time each day. So these negative emotions can contribute to patterns that we develop in life, and it's hard to break the patterns because the unresolved negative emotions are sort of feeding this behavior. So hi everybody, I'm Juanita Ecker, certified emotion code and body code practitioner. Today's topic is, would you like to reduce your beer or wine consumption? So let me ask you, what would it feel like to be able to drink less alcohol? Or to say, I'm only going to have one or two drinks and then to be able to stop after that amount. So today I'm going to show you how to eliminate the triggers that are causing you to either reach for more alcohol than what you really wanted, or to always want it at a certain time of day, or to engage in it in excess. So if this sounds crazy, stick around. I'm going to use this simple refrigerator magnet and the emotions off of this emotion code chart. So the technique I'll be using today is called the emotion code. And I did not invent this. Dr. Bradley Nelson invented this, and he was a chiropractor, and people would come every week with the same issues. And he began to wonder if maybe there were unresolved emotional baggage that was causing the person to either have like aches and pains, or to act in a certain way, or to respond in a certain way. And sure enough, he uncovered that there were trapped emotions. So he wrote this book called The Emotion Code. It says, How to Release Your Trapped Emotions for Abundant Health, Love, and Happiness. This book was written by Dr. Bradley Nelson, and the foreword is by Tony Robbins. And Dr. Bradley is helping thousands of people all over the world with this technique. The cool thing is, I was certified by Dr. Brad. So that's the technique I'm going to be using today. Now, the technique is about 20 years old, but the book is probably only about 3. Okay. So for my Facebook friends, okay, so let me see who's here. If you're here, say hello. Okay, so my friend Micah is here. I see Pat is watching. Hannah is watching. Hi, Hannah. How are you? Great. Okay, it's nice to have a couple people watching today. And for my Facebook friends, I have a special gift. For my viewers, today we're focusing on alcohol, but maybe you have an issue with turning to food to cope in life, or maybe when you feel stressed, the first thing you do is run to the kitchen and start eating, maybe start eating everything that's in the house. And maybe you've always wondered if you were an emotional eater. So I have this really amazing free gift. It's called the Ultimate Emotional Eating Assessment. And this is a 4-page, I don't know if you can see this, a 4-page brochure. and I have 25 different triggers that you can check off to see if you are an emotional eater. And maybe you've had food rules growing up where you had to clean what was on your plate, or you were sent to your room if you didn't like what was served and you didn't want to eat it, or you had to eat it all if you wanted dessert. So lots of times people have an emotional eating behavior, but they don't really know what triggers it or what caused it. So this assessment will help you to identify the triggers that are causing you to want to eat, to cope in life. And as with any healing journey, the first step is identifying when you do something and why you do it. And this assessment will help you to identify that. So to get this free gift, go to theshiftingsand.com/free gift. That's theshiftingsand.com/free gift. Great. People that have gotten the free gift really love it and are excited about it. Okay. So if you've been following me the last couple of weeks, we've worked on clearing food cravings and we've worked on emotional eating issues. So for Cheryl, she always craved chocolate ice cream and she wanted to get rid of the cravings. I worked on her, and after the clearing, she went and she bought a chocolate ice cream, and she said she couldn't even finish it. It didn't even taste good. Now, she was worried that the clearing would be temporary. So the following week, she bought another chocolate ice cream, and she still couldn't finish it. She said it just didn't taste good. And to this day, Cheryl has told me that she still is not eating chocolate ice cream. And so she's thrilled that she no longer craves the chocolate ice cream like she used to do. I worked with Catherine, who couldn't keep solid milk chocolate in the house. And if it was in the house, it would call her name. She would have to eat it. I worked on her, and we released the emotional baggage, the triggers that were causing her to crave this particular food. And now she bought a piece of chocolate. She said, I'm not even motivated to go smell it or taste it. She said, I have no interest. So that's pretty cool. So that's very similar when we work on clearing foods. It's very similar to clearing cravings for alcohol, because what's triggering it is emotional issues, unresolved emotions from the past that are causing this behavior. Okay. So let me share a few success stories. Not only can we work on food, we can work on a whole range of issues with the emotion code. And I worked with a woman who had extreme discomfort in her heel. And when she came to me, the pain was at a 6. And after the session, we got it down to a 2. And then the following session, we got the 2 down to a 0. So it's amazing what the emotion code can do for physical challenges and discomfort. I worked with a dog. Yes, we can work on animals, and I love working on animals. And this little dog, such a sweet little dog, she's so nervous in the car. And the owner would travel from Michigan to Florida every year and would have to give her dog tranquilizers. So I worked on the dog. I did a few sessions on her, and now the dog can ride in the car. She's happy. The owner's happy. Everybody's happy. So that was kind of fun. I worked with a young woman who really struggled with procrastination and lack of motivation. She was enrolled in a dog trainer program, and she wanted to be a dog trainer, but she just wasn't motivated to do the work, to do the requirements, and there was a deadline. So I worked with her, and after a few months, we were able to release all of the things from the past that were stopping her from taking action. And I'm happy to report she's now a certified dog trainer. So it's very rewarding to clear these issues for people. So think of something sad, scary, or traumatic that happened. And it could be yesterday or it could be years ago. And when you think of that event, what emotion comes to mind? Is it disappointment? Is it guilt? Is it anger? Is it frustration? Is it grief? Excuse me. Give that emotion a number on a scale of 0 to 10. 0, it's not there at all, and 10, it's at the worst. And the fact that you could give this emotion a number, the fact that you could give this emotion a number means it's still stuck in your body. And this is what we call a trapped emotion. It has never been fully processed and released. And these trapped emotions can affect us energetically. They can affect us on a physical level with physical challenges. They can affect how you respond to life. And it can also affect the choices that you make. So it's really important to get rid of these unresolved negative emotions. And why do you want to do that? The law of attraction is paying attention to your vibration. And whatever vibe you are sending out, the law of attraction matches it. And so think of yourself standing in this big hula hoop, like a circle of energy. And the law of attraction matches the vibe that you are sending out. So if you're having a negative emotion, the law of attraction responds by giving you more of the same. So if you have these unresolved emotions, these negative emotions, even if it's on an unconscious level, it's a vibe that you are sending out. So the law of attraction is going to give you more of that. It's going to give you more of the same. Excuse me. So for example, Cheryl, she was vibrating, always craving chocolate ice cream. And so she continued to get more of it. Once we cleared the trapped emotions for her, she was now vibrating at a new level, and she no longer had those cravings. And so the law of attraction could match her new vibration instead. So today, it's all about the high vibe zone. The best way to create a high vibe is to get rid of the low vibe. And the best way to become more positive is to be less negative. And the reason we want to do that is because the law of attraction is eavesdropping on the vibe that you are sending out and giving you more of it. So today, for anyone that volunteers, I'm going to reduce their desire to drink alcohol, beer or wine. We're working on today. Now, I always like to tell my the people that I'm working on, the volunteers and my clients, when we're working on food or food cravings or alcohol or something that you drink, what I'm demonstrating today is the power of the emotion code. And this is like one layer. So when you think about alcohol, for example, maybe you have it when you come home from work, or maybe you have it before you go to bed, or maybe you have it when you go out with friends, or maybe you have it when you're celebrating. And so there are many, many layers of this issue. And so what I'm removing today is one layer. And I like to tell my volunteers that if you haven't noticed a change right away, it's because there are more layers that we need to remove. So it doesn't mean what we did didn't work. It just means that there's more work to do. So today I'm demonstrating the technique, but do know that if you still have the issue, then we want to get rid of the other layers that are still there. Okay, so if you decide to volunteer, there's no embarrassment. You won't have to reveal any details from your past. I will identify the emotion off of these emotion code charts, and I will delete it within minutes. Once I run the magnet over the governing meridian, that deletes the frequency of the emotion. So how does this work? You know the expression, we're all connected. Pretend like there's this big internet web, a pretend thread. And before I work with someone, I get her or his permission to access their subconscious mind. And the subconscious mind is like a big Wi-Fi, a big computer, and it knows everything. It knows what happened, it knows when it happened, and it also knows what unresolved negative emotions are triggering this behavior or are triggering the cravings. So my job is the mechanical connection. You can only ask the subconscious yes or no questions. So my talent is asking the right questions so that I can get the correct yes or no answer. And I use the kinesiology, the muscle testing. So when I first connect with the volunteer, I energetically connect to her subconscious. And I use the ring and ring method. And when the fingers are together, that's strong, so that's a yes. When the fingers come apart, that's weak, that's a no. So I'm not guessing at anything. I'm not psychic. Her subconscious mind is telling my subconscious mind when to lock for a yes. It may appear very weird, but I've helped a lot of people with this technique. Okay. So if you want to volunteer, give me permission to work on you and tell me what you would like to delete today and the severity of it on a 0 to 10 scale. 0, it's not there at all, and 10, it's at the worst. So for example, do you have 1 beer and you want to get rid of that, or do you have 3 beers and then you keep having a few more and you want to stop at 3? So tell me what the issue is and what you think the severity is for you. Okay, so let's see who else is here and who wants to volunteer. So Julie is watching. Hi, Julie. Micah says, what an awesome free gift you're offering. Thank you. Okay, Micah, you're welcome. Okay. Micah wants to volunteer. I love to crack open a beer or 2, she says, with my partner at the end of the day, especially when I or we did hard work. Like, physical work in the garden or at the construction site. Would like to reduce this as it has become quite a habit. Okay, so Micah wants to reduce, always reaching for the 1 or 2 beers in the evening. She gives me permission and she says her severity is a 7, and I'll test that to make sure. Okay, and if there's anyone else that wants to volunteer, type in the chat in the chat here, and we'll get to you next. All right. So okay, let me energetically connect to Micah. Okay, great. So my name is Micah. My name is Juanita. So now I have a strong connection with Micah. So what happens is my body's sort of putting itself aside, and when I muscle test for Micah, my body knows I'm doing it for her rather than muscle testing for me. Okay. So, is there a negative charge causing Micah to want to have 2 beers? Yes. Okay. Two beers in the evening. And what is the severity of this charge? Is it less than 10? Yes. 10, 9, 8, 7. Okay, so Micah said 7, and that's what her subconscious says too. So that's pretty cool. All right, let's see what negative emotions are causing this behavior. in Micah. And I'll be using the emotion code chart, and I'll be asking, is it on the left? Is it on the right? Is it odd numbers? Is it even numbers? And eventually I narrow it down to the exact trapped emotions, the negative emotions that are causing this behavior in Micah. How many trapped emotions? Are there 5? Are there 10? Okay. Sometimes they're all in one row. Sometimes they're in the same box. Sometimes they're all over the chart. Is this all in one row? Yes. Row 1. Okay. Micah, have some water. And I'll have some too before we get started. It's really important when you're doing this type of work that both the client and the practitioner be well hydrated. Okay, Micah, here we go. We're going to change your life. We set the intention to release the trapped emotion of abandonment and betrayal, forlorn, lost, love unreceived, effort unreceived, heartache, insecurity, overjoy, and vulnerability. Good. The next category is absorbed, and we've all had it where we walk into a room and the energy feels a little off. You can absorb trapped emotions from people and then they get stuck in your body. Does Micah have any absorbed trapped emotions that's contributing to this behavior of wanting 2 beers in the evening? Yes. Is there more than one? No, there's one. Okay. On the left, odd numbers, B2, B4. It's depression, frustration, indecisiveness. We set the intention to release the absorbed indecisiveness. Great. Okay, good. The next group. How many? Are there 5? Okay. Column C, column B, odd numbers, B2, B4. We set the intention to release abandoned, sadness, blasphemy, frustration, resentment. Okay, good. Sometimes emotions can be hidden, and once we ask if it's hidden, then it's not hidden anymore. Okay, is there a hidden trapped emotion? Yes. On the left, odd numbers, B1, effort unreceived, heartache. Okay, we set the intention to release the energy, the hidden energy of heartache. Good. Just like we can inherit brown hair and brown eyes, you can inherit trapped emotions from your parents and your ancestors. And so I've had people say, oh, I respond to this just the way my mom used to do, or my dad always used to act this way. And that could be that they have trapped emotions, negative energies that are triggering the behavior in them. So does Micah have any inherited trapped emotions? Yes. How many? More than one? No, there's one. On the left, odd numbers, B1. Is it effort unreceived, heartache, insecurity? Is this from the mom? No, from the dad. Okay. We set the intention to release inherited insecurity coming from the dad, being passed down to Micah. Great. The next category, we like to use the analogy of a bell. It's called the vibrational resonance. And sometimes emotions will be cleared a little bit, but there's still left over, and we say that they're still ringing. And so we call it a vibrational resonance. Okay. Is there a vibrational resonance? Yes. More than one? Yes. Are there 5? Okay. On the left, odd numbers, B2. Is it all of B2? Yes. We set the intention to release the vibrational resonance of failure, helplessness, hopelessness, lack of control, and low self-esteem. Okay. The next category is called prenatal, and sometimes the fetus can either absorb a trapped emotion from one of the parents or feel it themselves. Is there a prenatal trapped emotion contributing to wanting to have 2 beers in the evening? No. Okay, good. Is there a compound? A compound is 2 emotions that combine together to form a new one. So when you think of red and white, when you combine them, you get pink. And so sometimes compounds will do that. 2 emotions will combine to create a whole new emotion. Does Micah have a compound? Yes. Are there 2 emotions? Yes. On the left, is it odd numbers? B2, B4, B6. Is it pride? The first one is pride. The next one in this box, yes, is it shame and shame? Pride and shame. We set the intention to release the compound of pride and shame. Good. A heart wall emotion is sometimes we gather up all these trapped emotions that are in our body and we kind of put them around the heart to protect ourselves. And if you've ever been in a situation where you've been hurt or you've wanted to protect yourself from being hurt in the future, you may have gathered up heart wall emotions around your heart. Does Micah have any heart wall emotions? Yes. Are there 5? No. Are there 10? Okay. There's 10, row 1, row 2. We set the intention to release the heart wall emotion of anxiety, despair, disgust, nervousness, worry, failure, helplessness, hopelessness, lack of control, and low self-esteem. Good. Is there anything else contributing to Micah wanting to have 2 beers in the evening? No. Okay, what was the severity when we started? Was it a 7? Yes. What is it now? 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Yay. Okay. I love this work. All right, let's see how many negative emotions we cleared for Micah. 10, 20, 30, 1, 2, 3, 4. 34 emotions. Wow. That's great. So, Micah, take a drink of water. Let us know if you felt something during that clearing. Some people get a tingling, some people yawn, some people feel energy moving through their body. So let us know if you felt something, and I'm looking forward to hearing in the next few days if you notice a shift. Maybe instead of reaching for 2 beers, you might reach for 1, or maybe you won't want to reach for it at all. It'll be fun to see. Okay, so Micah says, yeah, oh wow, thank you, dear Juanita. Okay, Micah, you are very welcome. Great, thanks for volunteering. All right, if there's anybody else that wants to volunteer, type in the chat if you want me to work on you today. Micah says, yes, I did feel quite a bit of some releasing, and I resonated quite a bit with the emotions you mentioned. Okay, good. Nice. So while I'm waiting for someone else to type in, if you've just joined us, I have a free gift for my Facebook viewers. Are you someone that's an emotional eater? Are you someone that when you're stressed or you're angry or you're bored, that you head to the kitchen and, you eat as a way to cope? So if you think you might be an emotional eater, I have this beautiful assessment. It's called the Ultimate Emotional Eating Assessment. It's 4 pages long. And in the assessment, there are all the triggers to help you identify what's causing you to eat, when you tend to reach for food. And this assessment is really helpful because, as in any healing journey, the most important step is to identify when you do something and why you do it. And so this assessment will help you understand why you reach for food when you're feeling uncomfortable feelings or you just feel like you can't cope with what's going on in your life. So to get this free gift, go to theshiftingsand.com/free gift. That's theshiftingsand.com/free gift. Okay. Micah says she will definitely let me know on her new habit. Thanks again. I'm excited about what you did and how you did it. Okay, great. Thank you, Micah. Now she's curious about her future habits. Yes, exactly. All right, let me disconnect from Micah. My name is Juanita. My name is Micah. My name is Juanita. Okay, great. All right, I have another volunteer, Joel. Okay, so Joel says that he would like to stop with 3 beers. He couldn't be on the call, but he offered to be a volunteer. So I'm going to do him next since no one else wants to volunteer. And he says he would like to stop at 3 beers. But what happens is he ends up drinking more than the 3. Okay, so let me connect to Joel. Okay, my name is Joel. My name is Juanita. My name is Joel. Okay, great. What is the severity causing Joel to continue to drink after 3 beers? Is it less than 10? No, it's a 10. Okay. So my goal for Joel is to get this to a 0. But as I mentioned earlier, with food, with alcohol, there are many, many layers. And so there may be more things than what we can do in a 10-minute session today. So keep that in mind. Okay, so let's see. How many trapped emotions for Joel? Now, you noticed with Micah that took about 15 minutes. So you can imagine what I can do in a 30-minute session when we're really focusing on your issues and your challenges. You know, the emotion code is very powerful, and you can get a lot done in a 30-minute session. Okay, so let's see how many trapped emotions for Joel. There are more than 5, more than 10, 15, 20. Okay, is it row 1? Yes. And row 2? Yes. Okay, Joel, later when you're watching this, we're about to change your life. We set the intention to release the trapped emotion of abandonment and betrayal and forlorn, lost, love unreceived, effort unreceived, heartache, insecurity, overjoy, vulnerability, anxiety, despair, disgust, nervousness, worry, failure, helplessness, hopelessness, lack of control, and low self-esteem. Good. Are there any absorbed? Yes. Is there more than one? No, just one. Column B, column A, odd numbers. A2, is it anxiety, despair, disgust, nervousness? Set the intention to release absorbed nervousness. Good. Okay. Are there any stress-related? How many? Are there 5? Okay. Column C, column B, odd numbers, B2, B4. All right, we set the intention to release abandoned, sadness, blasphemy, frustration, and resentment. Good. Is there any hidden? There's 1. Column B, odd numbers, B2, B4, B6. Is it discomfort, embarrassment? We set the intention to release the hidden emotion of embarrassment. Okay. Is there an inherited that's causing Joel to continue to drink after 3 beers? Yes. Okay. Is there 1? Yes. Okay. Column B. Odd numbers, A2, A4. Is it anger? Is this from the mom? No, from the dad. Okay, good. We set the intention to release the inherited trapped emotion of anger coming from the dad, being passed down to Joel. Good. Is there a vibrational resonance? Yes. Are there 5? More than 5? Are there 10? Okay. Row 1. We set the intention to release the vibrational resonance of abandonment, betrayal, forlorn, lost, love unreceived, effort unreceived, heartache, insecurity, overjoy, and vulnerability. Good. Is there a prenatal for Joel? Yes. How many? Are there one? Okay. Is it on the left? Is it odd numbers? B2, B4, B6. Is it pride? Shame. Is this Joel's? No. Was this absorbed from the mom? No. From the dad. Okay. From the dad. Yep. We set the intention to release the prenatal trapped emotion in the womb of shame, absorbed from the dad. Okay, good. Is there another prenatal? No. Okay. Is there a compound? Yes. Are there two emotions in this compound? Okay. On the left, is it odd numbers? B2, B4. Is it depression? Frustration is the first one. Is the next one indecisiveness? Panic. We set the intention to release the compound of frustration and panic. Great. Is there another compound? No. Is there heart wall emotion? Yes. Are there 5? Are there 10, 15, 20? Row 1, row 2. Is the next group even? Is it row 3, row 4, row 5? Okay. Row 2 and row 5. Okay, good. We set the intention to release the heart wall emotion of anxiety, despair, disgust, nervousness, worry, failure, helplessness, hopelessness, lack of control, low self-esteem, heart wall emotion of blaming, dread, fear, horror, peeved, conflict, creative insecurity, terror, unsupported, and wishy-washy. Great. Is there anything else contributing to Joel not being able to stop at 3 beers? No. Okay, I'm going to clear creative insecurity because Joel will be developing a new habit, and sometimes we get creative insecurity when we're developing a new pattern or new habit in ourselves. Set the intention to release creative insecurity about the development of this new habit. Great. Okay, is there anything else that's contributing to Joel not being able to stop with 3 beers? No. What was the severity when we started? Was it a 10? Yes. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Yay. Okay, terrific. So once again, that took about 10 minutes to clear this for Joel. Let's see how many trapped emotions. There were quite a few, actually. 20, 40, 50, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, 60. Wow. Wow. This is very gratifying to be able to do this for people. And I can't wait to hear from Joel to see if he can stop with 3 beers. Great. So let me disconnect from Joel. My name is Joel. My name is Juanita. My name is Juanita. My name is Joel. My name is Juanita. Okay, good. So you saw with Micah and with Joel, excuse me, in less than, 15 minutes, we went from a 10 to a 0 with Joel and a 7 to a 0 with Micah. So you can imagine what we can do in a longer session where we're working on your issues. So let me see who else is here. I see my friend Holly from Wisconsin is here. Hi, Holly. Thanks for joining us. Okay. Chris is here. Nice to see you, Chris. Glad you could join us. Anybody else here? Okay. Great. Good. So you might be thinking, gosh, I would like to drink less, or maybe I have a food that, maybe you have a food that you would like to get rid of or not eat so much of. And so I make it very easy for you. I send you a checklist so you can check off the things that you want to work on. Oh, I see my friend Celia is here. Hi, Celia. Nice to see you. So I make it very easy for you to work with me. I send you a checklist, and you can check off the things that you want to work on. And I don't need to see you, just like I didn't need to see the volunteers right now. And so if you're thinking you'd like to work with me, here's my website, theshiftingsand.com. That's theshiftingsand.com. Reach out to me and we can book an appointment. So before I close, let me share a few more success stories with you. I worked with a woman who couldn't eat dairy. Her body would negatively react. She would get bloated and gas, and she didn't want to give up the ice cream. So here's a situation where we wanted to add a food rather than take it away. So I released all of the negative emotions that were causing her body to react this way, and now she can eat the ice cream. So we can add positive things like salad or vegetables, things, or more water. Maybe you don't drink enough water. We can add things like that. I worked with a woman who couldn't find a job. She's a holistic doctor and really couldn't find a job in her field. We released all of the blocks from the past that were stopping her from bringing money and abundance into her life. And now she's been getting a couple different job offers, so that's pretty exciting. I worked with a man who always reacted with anger. He would be driving, and if someone cut him off, he would give him the finger, he would start yelling. And he had a new girlfriend, and so all of their simple arguments would escalate because he would immediately get angry. And after I worked with him, he said, you know what, Juanita, I don't do that anymore. People cut me off and I say, oh, well. And now my girlfriend and I can sit down and talk about what's going on. So it's very rewarding to make these shifts for people. So I hope you learned something today. If you saw something new, type yes. If you learned the power, I hope you learned the power of the emotion code today and what it can really do. Thank you for spending a part of your day with me, and I look forward to seeing you again soon. Okay, bye now.